coming this December. In a time when ugly sweaters and bad gift ideas prevail, there is hope. Make this December a Christmas they'll never forget with a gift from the Sur Shop in the Statesboro Mall. It's not clothing for men, it's clothing for gentlemen. Women's apparel too.
And welcome to our Georgia Southern preview show. You can call it an Eagle's Nest. We've got Mike Anthony back in the house, and thankfully he's got a little bit of his voice. He doesn't quite sound like old Willie Fritz's voice, but he's getting on the mend, despite being down here in Mobile by himself without his wife.
Terrible.
Chances to party all around, but yet Mike has been able to maintain his voice. First of all, Mike, we haven't gotten your take on it. We did do an Eagle's Nest after the announcement was made, but your thoughts on Tyson Summers being named as the new Georgia Southern head coach?
I give credit to Tom Kleinlein, his staff, the search committee. They realized that it could be an issue. They went right out, and in a week and a half's time, they're able to find themselves someone who not only is given himself a pretty good track record as a defensive coordinator, as a coach at the collegiate level, but also someone with some ties to Georgia Southern, with some ties to Georgia.
Tyson Summers comes in. Obviously, he's been the defensive coordinator at Colorado State. Before that, he had a great run there at UCF before they started falling apart, which maybe even lends more credence to the fact that he had a lot to do with the success they've had there. Of course, before that, he was at UAB, and he did have a cup of coffee here at Georgia Southern for a year after being a graduate assistant at the University of Georgia. How important do you feel like his ties to Georgia are in his hiring here? His wife is from here, he's from Tifton, so you think maybe you got a better chance possibly of keeping him for a while?
Well, it does work on a couple of different levels. First off, you do like to have family, friends, acquaintances, people that you've known your entire life. That does make things a little bit harder to step away from if a situation would come calling. I mean, I, for one, hope that Tyson Summers wins 10 games 2-3 years in a row, and if that happens, there are going to be people throwing a lot of money at him. But when you do have some roots in Georgia, when you've got family and your wife's family, when they've got roots in Georgia, it makes it a little bit harder to step away. But the more important thing from a program setting is the recruiting. You know, He was a former player at Tift County. I know one of our colleagues, Frank Solkowski, he had Tyson Summers running him water back and forth, I've been told, during his playing days. So you know some people, you've got some ties, you've got good relationships. That helps not only with wanting to keep your roots here, but with keeping the good Georgia players coming down the pipe every single year, keeping them coming to Georgia Southern, which over the last couple of years, they've been right at the top of the Sun Belt recruiting rankings. I would think that a homegrown guy could do a good job of keeping that right where it is.
As of right now, they haven't had the press conference that's scheduled for the 26th. We did get a chance, however, to hear from Athletics Director Tom Kleinlein about the hiring of Tyson Summers.
A lot of good things going on. Obviously, we're going through a change, but really excited about the future. Really excited about Tyson Summers, and I know he's excited to be here. And on the 26th, when he does his press conference, I'm sure everybody will get to know his vision and his plan and get excited about him. We had talked about him actually coming down here in the beginning of the week, and he did not want to come down at the beginning of the week and didn't want to be around practice and that kind of stuff because he didn't want to be a distraction for our team and for our coaches. And I know he's texted a couple of our coaches and wished them luck and told our players, hey, get out there and get after it and get us a win.
Well, the big question now, Mike, is who he will hire as his offensive coordinator, his defensive coordinator. I think a lot more eyes on the offensive coordinator. We've heard Charlie Taft's name come up. We've heard he might retain a couple of guys. We've heard Chad Lunsford. You've heard Del McGee. We will have to wait and see on that. Don't even know if that'll be announced at the press conference. But as we've said, StatesboroHerald.com, read the Statesboro Herald newspaper. You'll get all the information right there. Well, Mike, let's talk about the atmosphere here in Mobile. Unfortunately, rain today when we're shooting, rain during the game, rain for the next couple days, but it seems like the Eagle fans that are here are having a good time.
It definitely is a little bit different environment. You would think that a game so close to Christmas, I know a bunch of people have already used up all their vacation days. It's a pretty good drive for a lot of Eagle fans, but I don't think that's deterred them at all. The weather certainly doesn't seem to be affecting them. A lot of people here in and around downtown Mobile at the team hotel. I think that just the novelty of the experience is really something that's getting a lot of the Eagle fans out here. I know TK talked about it during the press conference earlier today, having that new situation, a chance for a bunch of Eagle fans to meet people that might not, run into each other normally. You've got your normal tailgate spot out at Paulson Stadium, or you've got your normal commute from Atlanta down to Statesboro for the game. This is a little bit different situation. A lot of people congregating for a couple of days. The city of Mobile really rolling out the red carpet. Everybody very welcoming. It's very apparent that they take pride in this GoDaddy Bowl, and it's also very apparent just looking around here at the lobby that the fans of Georgia Southern are very willing to accept that warm welcome, and I think it'll be a great environment, rain or shine, Wednesday night.
Well, not only are the fans having a great environment and a great time here, but the players have had a great opportunity. The first bowl game, they're trying to soak everything in. They've done everything from visiting the Children's Hospital. They went on a tour of the USS Alabama. They've been bowling with, I guess, the enemy in some ways. But it looks like
your enemy.
They're having a lot of fun and a lot of activities around the players as well.
Well, we just talked about how this is a new experience for a lot of the Eagle fans, a new experience for the players as well. They're used to winning games, they're used to playing late in the season, but as far as postseason goes, you've got to remember a lot of the juniors and seniors on this team, they gave up their ability to play in one more playoff run at FCS. They weren't able to go to a bowl game last year because of some weird rules, but this team right now, the freshmen, the sophomores, they're all in for those guys who made the sacrifice to get Georgia Southern up to this level, and hopefully a spot where they can continue to do this year in, year out, enjoy these fun times around Christmas.
Well, at the press conference today, Dale McGee touched on what Georgia Southern players have been up to lately.
I think it's been a tough transition, but I think our kids and the coaches that are committed to coaching this game have done an exceptional job, and we definitely want to still do Eagle Nation proud. That's our goal, and bringing our kids here, allowing them to have a great bowl experience was definitely a key to why we want to be here and do a great job. But also sending our seniors out as winners is something that we spoke about and challenged our coaches and our younger players to make sure that they're going out winners.
2013 has been a great year for all of us. Got a couple things ideas. Get out of my office.
Get into TC Outdoors and get out. Hunting season's here and TC Outdoors has everything you need. TC Outdoors, Northside Drive East in Statesboro, or tc-outdoors.com, your hunting and fishing headquarters.
Well, we've heard from the players and Coach Dale McGee's perspective about everything surrounding the bowl game. We also had a chance to talk with some former players about how excited they are about the first opportunity for Georgia Southern to be in a bowl game.
I mean, going to a bowl game is probably the best experience Georgia Southern can have this year. After winning the conference last year, qualifying for a bowl game, it's huge for recruiting purposes. It's great for the guys out there playing. They get to, show what they can do on a national stage again, and shows how far Georgia Southern football has come.
Having been a part of it, how does it make you feel?
Being a part of it, definitely makes you feel great about it, that you laid the foundation of people following in our footsteps, not just me, but Adrian and all the great players, and they come a long way to even set the standards even higher.
It's a great opportunity, Josh. It's an awesome opportunity to be an Eagle any day, but to go to Mobile, Alabama, or wherever we're going, let's go get after it. Josh, even before today, there's a picture over here of the team that played the last team before they stopped having football here at Georgia Southern. And then we have a picture of the shovels here today. We broke ground in the stadium here today. Just the history that's here today, and Governor Deal's here with us, and how far we've come. And Coach Russell just putting us on the map, and all the great fans and great people of Statesboro and Bullitt County and Eagle Nation. It's a great opportunity to be an Eagle.
It's a great feeling. I'm really sad I missed out on it, but it is great to know that after all the years putting up with no playoffs 1 year, not going to bowl game last year, I'm glad all the guys that I know that put in hard work over the years get to go to a bowl game. It's a huge deal. It was worth it. It was totally worth it going through that, so that schools in the future and teams in the future can.
Well, I think it's a major milestone in Georgia Southern's heritage. It started with Irk and PJ, and now it's here with Coach Fritz, and I think it's definitely a major milestone in getting us to a place where we need to get to. We're ready to go to the Sugar Bowl, we're ready to go to the Rose Bowl, we're ready to get in that football playoff. We know how to handle playoffs. We've been doing it our whole history. And I think we get a couple more recruits. I think we have a really good shot at it.
The bowl game gives us an opportunity to show the growth of the university, the growth of the football team, and it's showing that we can compete at the FBS level. It wasn't an easy road, just like when we went to the national championship, it wasn't an easy road. Getting to a bowl game is not an easy road. So I think this is an opportunity to show what Georgia Southern is becoming and what's going to be coming in the future.
It shows growth. And you know, anytime you can start something and see growth, it's amazing.
Where do you hope this is in a stepping stone to the future of Georgia Southern?
I think the sky's the limit. I think in the next 4 to 5 years, it's going to be our choice on where we go. And as I said earlier, we never had lack of talent. It was just the lack of opportunities. And you know, when we play against the quote-unquote big schools, we have a great showing.
How does it make you feel as an alum who helped lay the foundation for what they're able to do now?
Oh, it's great. It's great. You know, anytime you are part of something and you are able to stick around and see it grow, it's a tremendous feeling.
Well, Mike, it's now time to kind of get into the X's and O's. As we've mentioned before, the #1 rated overall offense, the #1 rated passing offense, the #1 quarterback against the #1 rushing offense. Defense has played pretty solid throughout the year. Your thoughts on the game itself and the X's and O's?
It's about as Jekyll and Hyde as it can get. I think that the weather, a lot of people are going to have their eyes on that. Some storms being called for Wednesday, a little bit of wind. You would think that that probably favors the Eagles a little bit. Then again, you've also got the intangibles of both teams settling into interim coaches, some coaches sticking around maybe just for this game and then heading different ways. So a lot of emotions, a lot of passion on both sides. I think that Georgia Southern, when you talk about emotion, as we said before, these guys who have waited for, in some cases, 3 years to finally get to a postseason game. I know that there were some dark days a couple of weeks ago, a bad way to end the regular season, going up against a very tough opponent. But I think this will be a new, very focused group of Eagles. They're going to be ready to play. They know that they're on national TV. They know the world is watching in a primetime slot. I think they're going to show us a much better Georgia team than we've seen in a couple of weeks.
All right, well, let's get out and hear what the players and Coach Del McGee's have to say about hitting the field to take on Bowling Green.
I think overall they're a great team. They got a great offense. You know, their quarterback's great, having a great season, and they got a great receiver too, who's having a great season too. And their defense is solid. You know, they played tough all season, so we just gotta go out there, play our best game, and try and get a win.
You always don't want to go out there and have a cupcake game. Go out there and be on ESPN and play against a really good team. That's what you really live for. You want to go out there and showcase what we got. That's what we plan on doing. They go fast. They go really fast, and they get a lot of teams on their heels when they start going fast. Really, the thing is, people forget about the running game. We got to stone the running game, and we got to cover down the receivers and really make them have to drive the ball in us and make it a game that we kind of want, a possession game. And that's the kind of game we want. We want to go slow and want to be a possession game.
They're a very good team. You know, defensively they don't do too much. They're pretty base, 6-man box. You know, we want to go out there. Got some bigger guys, so we're going to have to be a lot more physical. You know. On offense, they're a very explosive team. You know, their quarterback throws it all over the field, and they got some great receivers, and they can spread the field out. So we're just anxious to see what our defense is going to prepare and stop those guys.
They're very well coached. They run that tempo, hurry up. They're running 80-something plays a game. They're #1 in the country in passing, and they're top 5 in a ton of categories. But they can run the football as well. They got back with over 1,000 yards, another one 800 yards. A couple big receivers on the outside. So good offense quarterback, he makes it go. He's a great player. So it's going to be a huge challenge for us for sure.
On the offense, they're very dynamic. They have great receivers on the outside and inside. They're taller receivers on the outside. They have a great running back and another running back that complements their starter that has gained over 2,000 yards. The quarterback has passed for over 4,700 yards. He's very accurate, can throw the long ball, and he also can run it good enough off the zone read where he can hurt you. So offensively, they're very dynamic. On defense, they fly around the football, take great angles to the ball, great tacklers. So we got our work cut out for us on both sides. They're exactly like Troy as far as tempo is concerned. That's the big thing when you're playing a tempo team. You can't get that look in practice, and that first drive of a game, the defense normally gets acclimated to that speed. So hopefully our defense will kick in autopilot after that first drive and settle down and start to play football.
And you also know how important it is when you've got a team like that to try to keep that offense on the sidelines best you can. And the way you do that is your offense getting things going. How's your offense right now?
Oh, that's good. We're going to do what we do, and we got a couple of new wrinkles, but we're going to basically do what we've been doing the whole season and protect the football and try to ground out the ball on the ground.
Well, Mike, as for the game itself, the experts in Vegas have Georgia Southern between a 7 and an 8-point underdog. The over-unders around 60. We'll see if the weather plays into a factor in this game. You'd think, as you mentioned earlier, it might favor the Eagles. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have the highlights of that game and post-game reactions for you at statesboroherald.com. And don't forget to check the paper and read statesboroherald.com. Read what Mike's got to say about the game as well. That'll wrap things up for now. From here at the Renaissance Hotel in Mobile, Alabama, I'm Josh Aubrey. Thank Mike Anthony for joining me. Hope to see you again very soon.